Hi, my name's Andy Sheehan. I'm the town administrator for the town of Middleton. Welcome to this week's video. We're recording this on March 30th, 2021. I've been talking about the public facilities program or project for a number of weeks now, actually for a number of months now. And so that's going to be the focus of today's video. Town meeting voters will be presented with the opportunity to discuss and debate and vote on the public facilities project at the upcoming June 5th town meeting. So anybody who's been into the fire station, police station, council on aging, or Memorial Hall, where my office is located, knows that time has passed these facilities by. The Flint Public Library and our schools have been invested in and modernized over the years. Unfortunately, our other municipal buildings have not been. Middleton's population has doubled, more than doubled since 1980, and our facilities have not kept pace with the changes that have happened in the community. It's understandable. It's costly. It's been costly all along. It's, as I'll talk about, it's going to be costly now. Unfortunately, further delays will result in further increases in costs. So in March of 2019, Middleton Town Meeting voters voted overwhelmingly in favor of purchasing the former Middleton Golf Course at 105 South Main Street. The stated purpose at that time was to use the property for the eventual construction of a public facilities project, a public facilities complex, consisting of a fire station, police station, community center, and town hall. We committed to preserving the balance of that 52-acre property as open space. Now, none of that has changed. That was our plan 2 years ago at town meeting. That still is our plan at this point. For the past 2 years, the Master Development Planning Committee has been working on the site design for the project. They've been aided in this work by the architectural firm HKT and Associates out of Charlestown. Now, during this site planning process, the committee held more than 30 public meetings, input sessions, public forums, community planning charrette, and issued a survey to residents. The recommendation that came out of this 2-year process is what will be taken up at town meeting on June 5th. And that is to build all 4 of those buildings. Actually, it'll be 2 buildings, 2 combined buildings, but build them all at once. And the price tag is $61.7 million. A remarkable amount of money. We're not going to debate that with you. We know it's a big ask. We think that it makes sense, and we're going to tell you why that is over the coming weeks as we lead up to town meeting. So the committee proposes 2 combined buildings, a combined public safety building consisting of the fire station and police station. That will be, the fire component of that will sit right on Route 114, right on South Main Street. So apparatus can easily come and go. The police station will be attached to it, but slightly behind. And then further back on the lot, but still near the front of the lot, will be a community center and town hall in a combined building. The combined buildings allow us to share space and gain economies of scale. At the town meeting in 2019, I described the project as being built in 4 phases, roughly 4 or 5 years apart. The phasing that I assumed at that time was based on the information that was available to us at the time. What the Master Development Planning Committee has learned over the 2-year planning process, and also what residents gave us in terms of feedback in the survey, and particularly in the November 2019 public forum, was that it makes much more sense to build the entire project at once. Construction costs generally in Eastern Massachusetts increase an average of 3 or 4% per year. Pre-COVID, our architects were seeing cost escalations of 6 to 8% per year. Now, COVID has put a little bit of a damper on that, but as the economy reopens and as more money frees up, more of these projects are going to get going, and we're already seeing that in other communities. So we don't expect that temporary lull in cost escalations is going to continue. But when you take those cost escalations and you project that over 10 or 15 years, the total cost becomes pretty overwhelming. We're also in a period of extremely low interest rates, and taking advantage of those low rates will save taxpayers a tremendous amount of money over the 30-year term of the loan. If you think of it as like your home mortgage, if you can do that all in the shortest period of time that you can do that in, that you can pay that off in, the more you'll save. And if you have a mortgage that's 2.5%, you're going to spend a lot less in interest over the 30 years of that mortgage than you will if your interest rate is 5%. And so that's the situation that we're faced with. So at town meeting in June, the committee will ask town meeting to appropriate funding for the project. Now, the project also requires a Proposition 2.5 debt exclusion override. And that override question, and that's a yes or no, up or down question, that will appear on the town election ballot, which is the following week on June 12th. Between now and town meeting, the committee will be meeting with stakeholders and other interested groups and hosting a series of informational meetings to get information out to you. Now, what will help the committee greatly, and we think it will help you, is to know what questions you need answered in order for you to make an informed decision. We know cost is a huge factor, and we have to address that. We don't know all of the other things that you may be thinking of. And so that's why we want to get some input from you, some feedback from you as we go forth and we start to talk in more detail about the project. So we've set up an anonymous Google form on the website, and there's a link to it on the link to this video on the website and on social media. So you can click on that link. It's a single question from us, and then an opportunity for you to tell us other things that you need to know about in order to make an informed decision. We'll collect those questions, and again, those will be anonymous. So if you don't want us to know who you are, we won't know who you are. We'll collect that information, collect those questions, create answers to those questions, and then we'll include that as part of our presentations as we go along. So town meeting, I mentioned, will take place on Saturday, June 5th. As a result of COVID and as a result of the fact that we expect a good turnout because of this question, we're going to have town meeting outside under a tent on the soccer field behind Memorial Hall at 48 South Main Street. We've been given the opportunity from the owners of the former Angelica's restaurant to park across the street. So there'll be plenty of parking. There's well over 300 parking spaces over there. And so that will be available. We'll make it as comfortable and hospitable as we can be in order to accommodate everybody who wants to show up and participate in that. The town meeting vote, because we're borrowing, is a two-thirds vote. So simple majority doesn't do it. Two-thirds vote because we're borrowing. On the election ballot, it is a simple majority. And the differences are prescribed in the laws of Massachusetts. Those are not things that we make up as we go along. So 2/3 at town meeting, simple majority at the election. So the election will take place the following Saturday, June 12th, at the normal location at the Fuller Meadows School. We're doing it on a Saturday for really two reasons. One, to stay out of the schools when the kids are in school so that we don't have any potential COVID issues with bringing people into the school. Makes it easier for the schools to disinfect after we hold voting there. And we think that having voting on Saturday when we've got a question like this facing the town takes away most of the excuses that people would have for not being able to show up if it was held during the week. So we want to get everybody out at town meeting. We want to get everybody who's available out at the election. And so that's why we're doing these on Saturday. So again, June 5th on the soccer field behind Memorial Hall at 48 South Main Street for the town meeting. June 12th at the Fuller Meadows School, 143 South Main Street on June 12th. There'll be more about town meeting and about the election as we get closer. This is really intended as a tease to get your attention, get people talking, hopefully get you talking to us so that we know what we need to do, what we need to be telling you in order to help you make an informed decision. So that's the quick and dirty on the facilities project. One quick update I want to share with everybody. Last Thursday, the Board of Selectmen and the Finance Committee met in it's their third joint session to discuss the operating and the capital budgets for the fiscal year that begins on July 1st of 2021. That is fiscal year 22. The board and the Finance Committee are close to being done wrapping everything up. They're going to meet again on Thursday, April 8th at 7 p.m. That will be a Zoom meeting, as all of our meetings have been for the last year. So anybody who wants to watch that or participate in that can go on to the calendar on the website at www.middletonma.gov. Click on the agenda and you can get the link, the Zoom link off of the agenda. That video and all of our other videos will also be available on the town's website. If you go on to the government page of the town website, click on video on demand and then click on Board of Selectmen, and that lists all of the selectmen's videos that are out there. So I've talked a lot today about the facilities project, a little bit about the budget. I'm going to cut it off there. I hope this is helpful. I hope it gets you talking. I hope it gets you thinking, and I hope it gets you talking to us so that that the Master Development Planning Committee can address the questions that you all have about this project that's coming up. It's a transformative project. It's really important, and I hope everybody participates in town meeting and in the town election on this issue and all of the other issues that we've got facing us. If you have any questions that you have for me specifically, or you want to just reach out to me directly rather than going through the link that we put online, you can reach me at andrew.sheehan@middletonma.gov. As always, thanks to Adam Stone from Middleton Public Access for recording and producing this video. And thanks for watching. Until I see you again, be safe and be well.